Good afternoon. My name is Surajit, and we'll spend the next 30 minutes in a small panel discussion about the benefits of investing in RPA. The topic is business benefits for
more and more, that's I think the kind of processes we're seeing and kind of focusing on. Of course, we do a lot of the back office ones as well. But there's so many examples, but I'll take one. We had a question, I think, about the automotive industry or manufacturing. We're doing a lot of work around warranty management and spare parts kind of upsell and add-ons, and so there's a lot of areas of keeping in touch with an end customer. So the front office function that you can automate in a very great way to create a much better experience.
I think from a whole, look at from a cognitive capture perspective, that's just before the RPA comes into picture. So the whole customer experience about, so nowadays there's a lot of focus on digital banks. So nobody has like a physical branches or anything. A very good example is what DBS is trying to do in India with the digital banks. So all of the users, they are just working on a mobile app. So if I want to apply for a loan, if I want to apply for a credit card, all I need to do is I just need to click on my let's say a license, on my Aadhaar card, or on my utility bill, just to show the proof of this one. So for all of that, what we are able to do with cognitive capture over there is in terms of the user experience. Just going one step before RPA as well. We don't even want the user to waste time filling all the information as well. We have all his information already in his Aadhaar card, in his license, in his utility bill, his address, and all of that. All we are doing is you just need to click on it. And with our mobile capture capability, we are able to actually automatically OCR all that information and pre-fill all of that too. So that becomes a very, very big way in which we provide user experience.
I just wanted to add for us, it's slightly different because in the internet industry you're dealing with digital ads, and you want to understand the performance of these ads after they've kind of like run out. You've got various models in the industry that talk about success. So if you want to run this specific ad a million times to just get some data points, I think RPA is a perfect solution that way. And it kind of directly and indirectly impacts the customer experience in a certain way because they're getting the best out of their campaign. So that's where we see a lot of applications, but it's still early days. So we're exploring it in that direction.
I'll just give you two examples where we see significant use. Right? One is, let's look at Facebook like of kind of social media platform, where all the fake users and other things are coming up. So a lot of work is being done where robots, in conjunction with intelligence and AI, is able to pull down fake users, which can directly help these platforms save revenue or save litigation costs. That's only very massive. One of the top consulting and audit company that we work with, we've got about 200k employees. They've taken 50,000 UI path robots that will be working side by side with the consultants, so that consultants can actually deliver more productivity to the customers rather than spending times and hours on researching activities. Because if you look at consulting as an industry, it's been stagnating from a productivity perspective. A significant thing has not happened in last, let's say, since Peter Drucker wrote the book, right? But the robots are able to help the same consultants perform much, much better, increase the revenue directly to what you get. You would see a similar thing coming up in legal very soon. There are so many industries that we can really
So when we talk about RPA and we're obviously extending it to IPA, a lot of it is about incremental innovation, right? That's what RPA is about. But you can have cases where you actually can get a breakthrough innovation where doing RPA in a project. And one example which comes in our mind, which is still not there, but it's coming and going to hit all of us positively, hopefully. Today, when we do tax filing, and I'm sure all of you are doing personal tax filing, right? You actually have to go and fill all the fields, right? Or maybe your CA does it for you. One thing which the income tax department is working on, I think Infosys is a vendor there. So what they're doing is that the Form 16s that we have, right? These are all coming to us. These are pre-filled and given to you by your employers, and Form 16 from banks, like if you have tax on FD, etc. So they want to acquire all of that because they do even today, because that's how your Form 26 gets filled, right? And they will pre-fill that in your income tax filing form, which you open an individual tax filing. And this is actually a combination of three things: OCR technology, because somebody is going to scan that. There's an RPA part of it, because somebody is going to feed that in the system. And the third would be the AI part, because I think eventually the goal of the finance ministry is that they will not only fill it, but they're trying to have some level of intelligence there, because as we know, depending on your income profile and your investment profile, what you fill in the form changes, right? So that's I would say is sort of innovation coming in, which is going to not only significantly save people's time, but increase compliance, because the level of mistakes or errors which happen are going to reduce, right? So do you see any examples of breakthrough innovation coming when there may not be many, but you might have seen some of them?
I'm saying that the example that you gave right now, the income tax one. So I'm proud to say that COFAX is actually part of that. So we're already doing it.
I think for the industry, it's good news around fake news. So that's where there needs to be a lot more application of AI, because it's got the potential to sway public opinion. And I think one of the biggest things that's coming out very soon is Facebook releasing their data around elections in countries, democratic elections. I think there needs to be a lot that could be done there with the bots. Thankfully, we don't deal with that because we're trusted really well in the industry, because we keep it relatively clean. There's no politics, there's no sports, religion. But I see the generation of content which has already been developed as the biggest application for the future breakthroughs, because you would want to know if the source is true or not. You could come up with you could literally scan my face right now, make me speak. I've got a digital avatar that makes me say things. That would be the real concern in the future, at least for our industry.
Yeah. I would like to extend from what you said to the IT department here to what we do in US government. For US government, UiPath is probably the most preferred partner in automating activities. So whether it is to do with NASA, whether it's to do with Department of Defense, or even their own income tax activities. Significant amount of activities being done in automation. So what you told is an isolated case, but I can see it as a democratic way in which things are happening, whether it's in US major government and defense purchases, or in an aging society of like Japan.
Well, I mean, there's many. We do a lot in the area of like entitlements and claims, and a lot of government processes have been historically really paper-based, even, and there's a lot of ways. I mean, that was a great example, COFAX on the front end of those processes, but there's a lot on the back end that mean that citizen services are often slow, and governments are constrained with their workforce, human workforce, the hours of operation. So we've done a lot of work to give governments a more, I would say, internet age experience in providing citizen services. A lot of work around claims, and a lot in the whole utility sector and infrastructure surveillance, and using AI in those processes like pipeline. These things. They're just literally thousands and thousands of use cases that we're involved in every day. And there's a lot of potential really to improve citizen services and the whole operation, resource management by using RPA. I do think RPA is a great on-ramp because you don't have to modify the underlying application layer. And that's a real accelerator in the digital world. And technologies around OCR and capture, these are all great accelerators because they're using the existing world. There's a hard Aadhaar copy today. How do you get that into a digital world easily? And all these KYC processes, we're doing tons of different KYC processes around the world. Again, what is that? That's kind of a mix of the old physical world, trying to get it into the digital world without running around with a lot of paper and handling all that paperwork. So there are many use cases, and it's just going to get better.
Sometimes it also happens that you realize a benefit which you never thought about, right? So it's a collateral surprise or advantage or a collateral benefit you get. So any examples on that?
Yeah, I have a point of view about it. While we love the serendipity and those kind of things, and there are lots of these kind of soft benefits, at least our point of view, again, maybe it's the banking background, we like a solid business case. We like to be able to model the kind of efficiency that we'll achieve in a given process. And I think it's very much in the Blue Prism DNA that we want an underlying soft business. We don't want a soft, feel good surprise type of outcome. We want something that we can model, predict it, and audit it. And that's why we have kind of our approach has always been to look at a process and ideally an end-to-end process. We're not, we're not into this idea of a bot on every desk and this kind of personal worker. And primarily, we're not saying that there couldn't be some benefit by doing that, but we can't measure it very well. And we have kind of a fundamental problem with that. It's really hard to measure from a productivity standpoint, and we're also seeing a lot of that in the shadow IT environments. And I experienced that a lot at Microsoft, where we saw, macros and running that nobody understood what they were doing, and that, again, security issues were a major concern there. So we like something that we can measure and predict end to end, and that's usually the way we drive a business transformation, is from that perspective. But yes, you get a lot of these soft, there are many cases where you see the customer experience really positively impacted by speeding up the output. So the company might have done the whole business case, we're going to be able to do this much throughput with this many human workers, and we'll achieve that. But the real benefit after all of that is that the customers are, like the experience a lot more.
And definitely agree with Peter. I think just few discussions before about OCR accuracy and all that. Those are very technical terms and very IT terms. To business, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's 40% accuracy, but 80% accuracy. Business is worried about that. So, is my human or a digital worker is productive? If I'm able to process 100 nodes today, tomorrow am I able to process 500 nodes, keeping the same amount of people? So, sort of move away from all these IT metrics to more from a productivity or business metrics. And all of these soft, this one will actually follow. I mean, you won't actually plan for it, but will follow.
Fundamentally correct. What you're saying is must be measured, but because what cannot be measured cannot be improved, right? That's me. You all tend to agree that. But there are some serendipities. definitely. As I told Japan case, our clients have reported lesser deaths. They didn't plan for lesser deaths, but they've had lesser deaths. That's one. How many of you work in this company, in any company, where your CEO doesn't talk about culture? Doesn't talk about culture as a thing that he wants to change. How many of you work in the company? Nobody. Everybody talks about culture. Does a CEO measure culture? Does he measure culture? If you ask him, or if his board asks him, he'll say yes. He has a metrics, his CHRO gives a metrics, he measures it. Very clearly measures it. Right? And you should just definitely go and try it out. Then you take about the RPA and other things, right? And you kind of ask some of the CHROs that we are working. They've clearly told, which CHRO was not at all involved, but they've clearly told that employee happiness quotient has increased. So we didn't plan for that. We really didn't plan for that. And it has happened and it is documented. In fact, I can share it with you guys post this thing.
Just a comment. I think there was a great opportunity for RPA to be a part of the ongoing Indian elections. There was a team in Mumbai that was set up to monitor fake news. Do you know how many people are working in it? Seven? Oh, he's from Mumbai. But, so I have a question to the prisons and the UiPaths. That was a classic case out there waiting to be picked up. You're telling me you could monitor the world's largest election with 7 people? I don't think so. So when they talk about the social causes and the well-being, I'd rather see impact at that level because they've got the capacity to impact things at that level. Right now we're kind of caught up in the enterprise level, and that's going to flow through. Like the incremental part will follow. But a larger society level impact is where they can make a massive difference. And I think those are the opportunities that we should be discussing for potential applications in the future.
Okay, so thank you so much for a very engaging discussion. I think we run out of time and people are hungry, waiting for lunch. But I'll just close this with a couple of points. When we talk about the business benefits of RPA, as an end user, because we have used UiPath and some other tools. So I think when you talk about ecosystem building, that's a big part of the strategic initiative in terms of getting the overall benefit to the customer. While there's a lot of investment happening in letting people learn the tools like UiPath, automation, anywhere like that, I think there are two places where there are gaps, which probably need equal push. One is we need more people to be evangelists within the organization because any new change which comes in with a lot of negatives, right? And even the RPA incremental is still change, and people will push back. So we need evangelists everywhere. And these people are people inside who are trusted. So now how do you sort of invest? And I know some of you are working on it. That's one. The second, which is probably never talked about, is that RPA is as much about learning a tool and creating a script. Is also equally important is to understand the process. People who understand the process are people who are in the process every day. So thank you so much for your time.